Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and today we're going to be making another card made from so many stars and the stitched stars. This is like one of the best sets that I've actually used. I've made so many cards from this Stampin' die set that, you know, even after Christmas is over, I'm going to keep it because you can use stars for everything. So, but this particular card has a lot of die cutting, but as long as when you finish die cutting, then the card just goes quick. You can really put this together fast. So let me just tell you or show you which stars go where, because there's quite a few stars here. And if you notice, some are inlaid and some are on 3Ds. Some I also etched into, like this one, and someone I just fixed on top. So let me show you what goes what. And what you're going to start with in inside here is there's a bunch of these outline stars. And we're going to be using 3 of the outline stars. This one, and this one. This is the smallest, the second smallest, and third smallest. So we're going to be using those. Let me put this back. And then, and that will make, on the inside, it will make this as something that's going to be cut out and actually fixed. But on, and then on the detail star, on the inside, there's a detail star. We're going to have this one. Now, there are 3 detail stars. So you're going to use the smallest detail star and the second smallest detail star. The second one on the front and the smallest one on the inside. And then the front, you got the swoopy thing, which is, of course, this one. And then there's the smallest detail star, which these stamps do 2 different things. They can cut and make something on the outside like this, and like this one did, but I inlaid on both of these, and they make the star themselves. So they're really quite versatile. That's why I like them so much. So that little one made this etch, and it also made this tiny little star because it has anything that's got that outline, that little stitch thing, is going to do that little stitch thing on there, and then it leaves a hole in the middle, and then this is your result. It's from that. So that goes to that. And then this one, we're just cutting the star. I'm not using the outline at all. I'm using the star inside, which is this one here. And I put a dimensional on that one. So that's that. And then this star is the only one that looks like this. So this one, I not only cut it, but I took it again and I die cutted it in copper as well, and I inlaid it. This is why this stamp set is the best. So that's kind of a description of what I've done in terms of the dies. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me move everything to the side without losing it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take a 5.5 by 4 1/4 Night of Navy, of course, score and fold. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside first. So here's the inside. Get rid of one of these. And we are going to take the copper foil, the brightly gleaming, and the shimmery white. So the copper is going to be a 4 by 5 1/4. The brightly gleaming is going to be a 5 by 3.75, and the shimmery white, and I only use shimmery white on my Christmas cards because it's just so cool looking, is 3.5 by 4.75. So we're going to go ahead and snail up the copper. Now that copper stuff, and when you are snailing this foil, you need to push down on that snail really hard, otherwise it doesn't like to stick, because this copper foil has a plastic background, and I left this out on purpose. You see that thing that's flying off the side here? That's that plastic coating they have on the back. That's what really, when you're die cutting something, especially if you're going to use your little sidekick, which I love because it doesn't etch on your foil, and it's pretty convenient to put it on my table rather than my Big Shot Plus. But you're going to have to run it through the sidekick like 8 times. And that's good and bad. Bad because you're running it through 8 times, but good because it's not leaving a bunch of scratches on your foil. But this is the stuff that makes the glue not want to stick. So when you are die cutting, if you can get a piece of that off your cut, then poke out all your stuff, you're going to be a much happier person. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and lay down our copper foil right there in the middle. And then we're going to do our brightly gleaming. Just nail that up. And I'm using the silicone pad here that I just love because it keeps my surface nice and clean. I can move it to the side. It's awesome. And then I need to do the sentiment. Now, in order to do that sentiment, I'm going to use my Stamparatus, because with anything that you're going to be stamping that's, you know, significant, you want to make sure that it really gets a good ink. So I'm going to line this up. Now, I pre-did it. I love my Stamparatus because if I'm going to be doing a bunch of cards at once, I can mark off where I need to mark off and then go ahead and put all my stamps where they need to be. And if I'm doing 20 cards, I leave it like that and I can just pop them out like crazy. So we're going to put this down here and we're going to get our Knight of Navy and open her up. And we're going to go tap, 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 tap. Don't smush, don't rock. And don't worry about all the stuff on the plate because it's not going to show. And I'm going to get my magnet away from that. And I'm going to do that again. That's the beauty of using the Stamparatus, is that I can do this as many times as I need to get the right amount of ink on the paper. So that looks great. And we're going to take our ink and we're going to close it because guess what? I'm going to ruin something with that if I don't. So I'm going to take this off and get it ready for the next one. So we're going to take this off, put this to the side. And we're going to go ahead and affix it on our card. Just nail it up and put it right there. Now, as for this star on the inside here, like I said, this can make many things. It can make a cut like this, or it can put just that big star on here with, you know, so you can see what's underneath. But this time we just cut out the star itself. And then I took this die here, which is the smallest detailed one. And I'm going to use glue because whenever you're affixing anything inside your card, if I snailed this and closed the card up, it's going to stick because snail will go right over those holes and you don't want that. So let's go ahead and glue this up with the fine tip glue. This stuff is great. I love it. It's got a nice little pointy needle inside and it doesn't clog. I mean, it really doesn't. If you find it a little slow, you can stick the needle back in, wish it up and down, and it's perfect. This is great stuff. So I went ahead and affixed the star, and then I'm going to snail on the back because there's no hole, so I don't have to worry about it. And then just snail it or affix it onto the card like that. Well, great. Now to the front of the card. See, once you got everything die cut, it goes super fast. So once again, we're going to use the copper foil 5.5 by 4.25, and then brightly gleaming 4 by 5.25. The copper, which is 5 by 3.75. And the shimmery white in the 4.75 by 3.5. So the first one we're going to put on is, once again, the copper. And once again, you got to get your snail out and really push down hard. I mean, I can even see where it's skipping on my thing here. Foil just does not like ink or tape. And so we're just going to put that on like not crooked, like how I did it. And it doesn't even matter. I've got a little bit of ink there, or a little bit of glue that I put something on top of it, but that's okay because it's going to be covered up. And then we're going to take our brightly gleaming, and that's the 4 by 5.25, and put that in the middle-ish. And then we're going to take our copper foil again. Once again, push down real hard and make sure that tape really affixes on there good, and line that up and put that down. Now I'm going to stop here for a second. I might cut in and show you how I pulled it through the die cutter, but what you're going to do is you're going to take this small die right here, and you're going to line this up. Now get out your Big Shot or whatever cutting device you use and take it and put it on the page like this. Okay? Then you're going to take your other die, whoopsie, like that. Now this one I kind of offset it a little bit. Then you're going to take this largest out of the three. Well, this is actually the third smallest. There's a bunch of those. Put that down there. And then, see, and you're going to take this one. This is the one that it's the only one that looks like that. And put it down there and run it through your die cutting machine. Okay, so this is how it's going to look on your die cutting machine when you cut it. You want to lay them all out just like so. And then just put your plate on it ever so gently and send it through. And it'll look like this. Okay, so now we want to put that season's greetings in there. So I'll bring out, once again, my Stamparatus. So, and once again, I have lined that puppy up because I knew I was going to make a bunch of these. And I'm doing a video. So I'm going to line it up on my Stamparatus like so. I'm going to put a magnet there and a magnet there. Now, I did do this once before, but I do need to line this up separately because every time you die cut, it might just be a little bit off. So I'm going to put it right here. Oops. And close it. And get out the Night of Navy again. Open it, and we're going to tap, 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 tap. Don't rock, don't smush, tap, 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 nicely tap. And put it right down. And then blow out my dog's DNA there. And let's do it again. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're going to take this off, get the Stamparatus out of the way, and get our card. And we're going to go ahead and snail the back. And don't snail through your cuts, even though I guess it won't matter, but it's just better habit not to. And go like that. Okay, so now we've got some other things put down here where we're going to need our fine tip glue again. So we're going to get out our little swirly and we're going to inlay these. So this, when the die cut is down, it made this impression, but you've also got this piece as well. So we're going to take this and we're going to do a cool thing and inlay it. So the dies do give you a little bit of a gully. You could put that little fine tip needle in. So it's nice to get it in there. And this is, so if you do get it kind of going, the glue going a little slow, because I left the lid off while I went to dinner, just do that. And whoops, see, perfect. That's about the extent of anything going bad. And then just kind of figure out which way you had it. I think it's this way. Yep. And we're going to inlay it. Isn't that cool? This is why the set is awesome. Look at that. That's awesome. Oops, and look what I did. Dun, dun, dun. Left my ink exposed to my card. And this will definitely get me if I didn't do that. And then we're going to take the star and do the same thing. And just ink up like the corners in the middle. If you've got any extra glue, maybe on the little sides there. Grab my tweezers and inlay that one. So this star here made this, and then this star made this. And you can tell because of the little etchings. You see how the little dashes on this one here, and there's no dashes on this one there. So they go together. So for this one, we're going to inlay it like so. Push it down there good. That's awesome. And then this little tiny one, we're going to ink up again. And this one, notice how there's no little stitches around this star. That's because the die did it. We're just using the die. So this little die doesn't have those little stitches. So there's no stitches there. And we're just gonna, so when I die cut this, of course, there's a white star hanging around here somewhere. And then I cut it again in the gold to make the inlay. So we're gonna do like so. Awesome. And then this star, is it this one? This star is actually this one. See, this is how it gets confusing. So this outline star does this one. And it's just the inside part of it. It's just this that made that. So we're going to take this one and get out our mini dimensionals. The mini dimensionals are great because until they had these, I would oftentimes take a dimensional and cut it in half and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to take that one and affix one there. And I made a second one just like that. Once again, taking a mini dimensional and putting it on. Taking off the little paper, which is annoying. And put this do bopper right there. That's the word. And the last thing we're going to do is take our holiday rhinestone basic jewels. And as you can tell, I've been using a lot of these. I kind of love them. And we'll put this one here. Oh, look, I missed one. I have also another tiny little baby star here, and it was cut from this one. So I used the star to make this. You know, I just laid the die down because you could tell from all the stitching, but it also made a little baby star. So I made a baby star out of the copper foil, and I'm going to put this little doohickey on the other side and get my tweezers. And I'm going to put him right there. Oops. Wants to stick to my finger. And then back to the jewels. So I'm going to take the jewels and make sure you put your fingernail all the way under that glue dot. If not, you could take your pick tool and peel off that little glue dot, put it on the star, and then put it on. I tell you what, this thing is great because not only the little pokey thing here, and when I was doing all these die cuts for the stars, especially the ones with all the detail, this thing is awesome. And just get your little foam pad in if you need to and start doing it. And I don't know why this one works better than the old one. It just does. And then also, if you're having a problem picking up like that little itty bitty star, you can put on this attachment here, which has that little putty thing on it, and you can pick up stuff like that little star. You can pick up sequins. This thing rocks. I mean, if you're going to get something, this would be it. The silicone mat is also awesome. And I didn't do any stamping with just a block, but the Stampin' Up pad is great, especially on the stamps that don't have that little orange rubber piece on it. So this thing is a must. I really believe in it. Anyway, back to the jewels. So just put my little stars on here. Now I didn't put any of the rhinestones in the inside of it because I didn't think it needed it. And just, you know, it pokes through. So put one right here. And I'm going to put a big one because there's 3 different sizes right there. And that's it. That is the Season's Greeting Peace, Love, and Joy Christmas card. And it's really fantastic. It's got a bunch of little die cutting, but it's not that hard. You could like sit down and whip these out while you're watching TV or spending time with your family. So it doesn't take too much, you know, attention to do it. So, and that's it. And if you could do me a favor, if you like the video, please like it. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'd be great too. If you're interested in getting any product, you can go to my Stampin' Up site below directly, or if you go to the description for the card and you're just looking for the directions, because I'm going to give you everything. And there's a little thing you can click on that also goes directly to my website, and you can get whatever you want. Or if you have any questions or issues or anything, I'll be more than happy to contact you back. But that's it. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Bye.